my fellow Bills Mafians. This is the Bills Dark Lord of the Sith, Bills Vader. And I want to wish congratulations and welcome to the new draft class of 2020. We look forward to seeing you in action. We look forward to welcoming you to our Mafia family, and we know that you will do us proud. May the Bills be with you. Go Bills!
Hi, I'm Mariana, and the Bills make me want to shout, especially the new ones. This is for you.
Folks, they say nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, but now it's time for Bills Mafia to roll out the welcome wagons for AJ Epinesa, G-Baby G Davis, T-Bass, From, all of them, Zach Moss, the boss. It's time to welcome these guys to Buffalo. Let's go Bills.
Here's wishing the 2020 NFL Draft. Congratulations. Welcome to Buffalo, and be prepared to meet the Bills Mafia. Go Bills.
Hi, I'm Julie. I would like to welcome the new Bills to Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo, all the way to Super Bowl. Let's go Bills.
Welcome to Buffalo, rookies, and welcome to the Mafia. We love to win, but you don't have to win to be loved. Work hard, play hard, party hard, and you will be loved forever in Buffalo. Go Bills.
President of Pacho's Army here. I just wanted to say first and foremost, thank you from the bottom of my heart to all our medical professionals, all our first responders. Thank you so much. Secondly, let's get to the task at hand. That 2020 draft class by the Buffalo Bills, baby. It's time to get to work. Viva los Bills.
Folks, welcome back to another exciting edition of the NFQL, brought to you by Gratwick Gaming, sponsored by 26 Shirts, Code Socks, and presented to you by us here at Trainwreck Sports. Let's pick up last week's matchup. Bills looking to go 7-5. We're in the first quarter. Field goal, no, it's a fake. Jake Fromm looking for the first down. He's not going to get it. Gase pumped up on the sideline. Next possession with the good field position. Jets take advantage. Legatron Zerline makes it a 6-0 game. Bills would answer back early in the second quarter. Allen looking at the goal line. It's smoke. It's a touchdown. That gives the Bills a 7-6 lead. He's dancing. He's prancing. He's having a good time. You see great execution on the sideline slant there. And we'll say it was not an easy game for Sam Darnold. As you see here, AJ Epinesa with a big game sacking the Jets QB. Bills again in the red zone. Allen looking over the middle. An amazing acrobatic grab. You expect that from Dawson Knox. Maybe, someone else. Not Tyler Kroft. But if he can have a big year like that, especially in 2020 like this sim, then the Bills offense will be rocking. They will be rolling. And I'll tell you who else was rolling. Sam Darnold. He left the game with an injury briefly. And Ed Oliver demolished the backup Morgan. Look at this again. Tell me this isn't a flying cross body. I mean, my goodness, it surprised me he wasn't at ECMC after that. Sam Darnold would return. He'd lead the Jets down the field in the late third quarter. Touchdown, makes it a 14-12 game. They were dancing. The New Era Field crowd was none too pleased about that. 2-point conversion, looking on the slant over the middle. It was caught. We had a tie game with just over 15 minutes to go, but that was far from through. The Bills would drive a 43-yard chip shot for T-Bass. It's up. It's good. Just over 11 minutes to go. He's fist pumping. The Bills take a 3-point lead. Legatron, 54-yard field goal with just over 3 minutes to go. It's up. Dan Gambino thought he might have missed, but it was good. Legatron ties us at 17.
Nope, play action.
At the end of the game, we had Darnold looking to get the Jets in field goal position, but again, a huge game from AJ Epinesa. He sacks him and brings him down and forces. We are going to overtime, where the Jets were driving until Tremaine Edmonds made a huge interception just outside the red zone 4 minutes into overtime, giving the Bills the ball. And the Bills almost did the same on the next play. Devin Singletary would run it up the middle, fumble, and actually almost cough it up, but they would move their way into the red zone. Josh Allen would find Dawson Knox to the 5, the goal line, touchdown, the New Era Field crowd going nuts. The Bills get an overtime win. The Jets and Bills were log jammed in the AFC East at 6-5. This moves the Bills to 7-5 within a half game of the division lead. Dawson Knox continuing to be a beast in the sim. We'll see if this can continue tonight on the NFQL. welcome back. We have a huge matchup in the NFQL as your 7-5 Buffalo Bills go on the road to take on Coach Mike Vrabel and these Tennessee Titans down south in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Maniac with this production of the NFQL, joined by my co-host, Star of Code Sox CEO Dan the Man Gambino. DG, how are we doing tonight?
Cinco de Drinko. The May. Doing good. Taco Tuesday. Everything's coming to a boiling point, and we're going to see if these Bills can get home another victory. Keep the playoff drive alive.
Yep, looking for that crucial 8th win on the season. As you see, Corey Davis coming off a pretty nice Week 13 matchup, I believe it was, where he had 6 catches for 75 yards. We've got a lot rocking and rolling. Shout out everyone for tuning in. Shout out for everyone joining us on Cinco de Mayo in the chat. Hope you're having a drink. Hope you're having a little tequila for us at home. Hopefully you are staying safe. But it's never smart to stay safe from these giveaways codes, and that is the first TD scorer for the Bills. Name who you think is going to score the first touchdown for the Bills, and you could have a chance to win a $25 gift card to your favorite local restaurant. And take a look on the screen there. You'll see the playoff picture. The Bills are where they were born to be, on the bubble. This could not be a bigger game, Dan.
And we need a full effort talking about the slow starts, and it's something that they've got to change. Got to do that today here on the road.
This team needs to break bad. No half measures here in Tennessee. They got to take care of business and put these Titans down for their 8th win.
Do so. We need some good linebacker play. We had a strong game out of Edmonds, making the play of the year so far in my book. That interception in overtime last week, but we need those linebackers to keep coming alive.
Got Ryan Tannehill to start things for the Titans. Kind of surprising the way he came on last year. The major thing to me is that it discredits Adam Gase. It looked like Gates kind of had the end of him with in Miami. It looked like Tannehill's days were done. Signs on with the Titans and replaces Marcus Mariota, cueing a playoff run to the AFC Championship last year, Dan. And there's your guy, Tremaine Edmonds, making the first play early. And while it might be Taco Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo here, these Bills playing on Sunday Night Football. Another primetime game in this 2027.
But more on Tannehill, sometimes you need that fire. There's a pass break up there, brings up third down. Sometimes you need that fire underneath you or someone ahead of you to spark it back up. And let's be honest, the situation in Miami wasn't getting any better. It was actually good for him that he got out of there and got into a situation with a decent line, a really good running game, and some budding wide receivers gave him an option to flourish.
No doubt about it. We have a 3rd and 11, an early chance for this Bills defense to get off the field, but Tannehill has a man over the middle, and that is going to be complete across the 40-yard line. Corey Davis, that's the guy we talked about. Folks, as you see in the upper left, we are still taking entries for the first Bills touchdown. Comment who you think it's going to be, what Bills player is going to get that first touchdown for the Bills for a chance to win a $25 gift card to your favorite local restaurant, courtesy of Gratwick Gaming. Dan, this defense, it's held serve for the Bills for the most part, but some of these games in the last couple weeks have gotten away from them. They've ended up a little higher scoring the Chiefs game. The Jets were able to score when they needed to during crunch time last week. Are you worried about this defense's inability to get a big play when they need it? Obviously, Tremaine.
Worried about this defense getting off the field and staying off the field. Our offense has to give them more time to rest. So they get off the field and they got to go right back on. Yesterday we saw it 20 seconds later. It's not going to help them. It's not going to help them rest and be ready for the next series when they got to sit down. Oh, wait, we're back on the field.
No doubt about it. And you saw there, it was almost, I didn't see who was the DB, but it looked like it was almost a pick 6 going the other way. Instead, it'll be a 3rd and 2 just across midfield, just short of 2 minutes into this game. I formation for the Titans. And they're going to plunge it with Derrick Henry. He had a monster season last year, Dan, and a monster postseason to follow it up.
You're basically tackling a linebacker every time he touches the ball. He is a big boy. That'd be like giving Edmonds the ball and saying, here you go, run.
And I know there were some Bills fans, because obviously McDermott and co, they lean a little bit more of a conservative offense, I guess I would say. But, obviously Dable opened up the playbook. A lot of people were saying they wanted Derrick Henry to be a Bill. That would be a $15 million plus investment in running back. That would be a little bit odd to me based on how Bean has spent his dollars.
Lano, there it is, linebackers.
Oh, Cookie Monster dropping the hammer. 10-yard loss on first down. This Titans offense going the wrong way.
It would have been nice to see Henry come, but that's more of a fan aspect of a fantasy football owner saying, "Oh, I would love to have." Does the money fit? Does the attitude fit? Does everything else fit? And I'm not seeing anybody really wrapping up a lot of money into running backs these days because, like receivers, they're a dime a dozen.
Most definitely. I mean, you see a very useful workhorse running back like Frank Gore, someone who really, I mean, his production has rarely been replicated across all of NFL, across all of NFL history. And even he has to sign some rental deals as he gets later into his career.
And him signing with the Jets, I would like to see him go somewhere else outside of the conference. Love Frank, and I wish him the best personally, but every game against the Bills, he doesn't have to show up.
Frankie G. I'll never forget at training camp last year, there were 2 fans in Frank Gore jerseys, but they were San Francisco jerseys, and they had signed that said, "We are the biggest Frank Gore fans. Let's go out to dinner." So I asked him a question. I go, if he said yes, where are you going to take him to dinner? These guys said McDonald's.
Only the best off the dollar menu, I guess.
No doubt. They're dollar menu heirs, as they say.
Rare punt inside the 40.
Seriously, rare for this sound, but the Bills, speaking of deliciousness, they get a delicious stop. And look at Josh Allen's numbers. I think it wasn't too long ago he was at 7 touchdowns and 7 picks or so. Instead, he's closing in on 4,000 yards, and that touchdown to interception ratio is plenty good for where you want JA7 to be. Again, check out those standings. We got the Bills looking to climb the AFC East. We have a must-win game here in Tennessee, and Josh Allen and co. will start their first possession.
We have a T-shirt drive and a $25 gift card, and it's not to a local restaurant in Buffalo. If you're watching outside of the Buffalo area, it's going to be in your area. So if you're watching and you're not in the chat right now, picking someone to score a touchdown, kind of crazy.
Hey, no doubt about it. We are rocking. We are rolling. 2nd and 7. This is where this offense lives. Shotgun set for Josh Allen. There you go. My man's fighting for yards. How many defenders did it just take to bring him down? 3?
4. Like 4.
Okay. That was Devin? Okay. I formation. This playbook's interesting. They'll switch up. It's like they're more likely to pass out of I formation, though.
They keep carving up yardage here. They can keep going. Uh-oh. He's down.
That is the last thing you see here in Tennessee. Diggs down with an injury. And as you can see, upper left corner, upper right corner, this is a triple D. No, I'm not talking Guy Fieri, diners, drive-ins, and dives. I'm talking about a double dip drive. We have a chance to win 2 things. Comment who you think is going to be the first Bills to score a touchdown, as well as a chance to win a t-shirt courtesy of Gratwick Gaming and 26 Shirts by commenting hashtag BillsMafiaAR, as well as sharing the stream.
They got to get the run going at some point in time to open up the pass plays. This is where they get into trouble during the 2nd and 3rd quarters yesterday. They weren't using the run to set up the pass.
No doubt. Got to be a balanced offense, and that's what they've been doing. That's what they've gotten in midfield so far. We are just about 6 minutes into this game. Thank you for tuning along in the quarantine on Cinco de Mayo. Again, I'm Maniac from Trainwreck Sports, joined by Dan Gambino, CEO of Code Sox. Loyal members of this actives, Derrick Henry for the Titans. That's a huge one.
This is a game changer. Put more on the pass than the rush.
Big 3rd and short coming up here in midfield. Quick hitter. Complete, and we're going to move those chains.
He's liking that underneath stuff, utilizing the middle of the field, which we've been asking for the past 4 games.
No doubt about it. And Sunday primetime NFL rolls on. Josh Allen only beefing up that completion percentage. Shout out everyone tuning in. I think we're over 50 on Facebook. We're in the double digits on Twitter. Shout out Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Shout out all of Bills Mafia for following along. Comment who you think is going to score the Bills' first touchdown for a chance to win $25 to $25 to your favorite local restaurant, courtesy of Gratwick Gaming.
Flag, first penalty of the game.
We got some laundry on the field. Dan, did you go to the Bills game in Nashville this year?
Oh, yeah. That was a great time. The day before in the afternoon, I teamed up with Bills backers in Miami. We threw a nice party at on Broadway at the Tin Roof, and then a great time at that game.
They say the Masters is a tradition unlike any other, but that scene on Broadway, Friday night, Saturday during the day, was a scene unlike any other. Bills fans left, Bills fans right. What's her name? What's the hot chicken? Hattie's Hot Chicken. Everyone going nuts. All the bars, all the Kid Rock, honky tonks. Oh my God, what a scene! The shout songs being played from left to right, anywhere on Broadway.
It was a sea of red, white, and blue. It was like the 4th of July down there. Amazing.
No doubt about it. Bills are going to have to settle for a field goal here. T-Bass, been pretty dependable inside 60 yards. Don't want to jinx him, though. Knocking on my wood. And it's up, and don't take that out of context. Bills lead 3-0. So a productive first drive for J.A. and Co. And there you see the standings, folks. At the top of that in the hunt, no place the Bills would rather be. A chance to jump into that wild card position with some help today if they can take care of business here in Tennessee. And wow, you see that defense being aggressive, Dan. I think I count 11 guys up on the line of scrimmage within 5 yards.
I'm predicting run. Oh, blitz, corner blitz.
Goodness. Ryan Tannehill with nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Teron Johnson cleans that one up for a sack.
I think that's his second one in the past 3 games. Second corner blitz.
Yeah, I think he had one yesterday, right? Or last week?
I think so.
No, so you've seen that Leslie and Sean, in an effort to maybe complement what they've been missing from Jerry Hughes, missing a little pass rush. Let's complement that by rushing the DBs. And we are closing in on 100 viewers on Facebook. Shout out everyone tuning in. Bills Mafia, all those groups, we appreciate you. We love you. Code Sox, Gratwick Gaming, Trainwreck Sports, making this Bills action happen for you folks. We all want sports back. We all want it back as soon as possible, but this is the best way to enjoy it for the time being.
And let us know what you're doing in quarantine, while you're watching this, or throughout the week. Let us know what you're doing to keep busy with watching with us every.
And right now on Cinco de Mayo, Dan, as the Titans draw up a 4-yard pass on 3rd and 19, I want to hear what these viewers are drinking. Are they working on some Jose Cuervo? Are people going out on a ledge and, having some Corona? I want to hear about it. I want to hear Dos Equis. What are you sipping on to celebrate Cinco de Mayo? In Buffalo right now, it's a solid overcast, I'd say about 50, 55 degrees. If there were not stay-at-home orders in effect, I think you could say that it would be a crazy Cinco de Mayo night out tonight.
It's one of the best nights usually down in Allentown. That's where we used to go when I lived in Buffalo.
Yes, Allentown is definitely the spot. I had a thing the other day. I said Chippewa is like what did I say? I said Instagram is like Rec Room. Twitter is like Allen Street. And then Facebook is like any beer tent you've ever been.
True story.
That's where I'm at on it, and I'm sticking to it. Incomplete, looking for Dawson Knoxon. Let's face it, Dan. When this Bills offense is really rolling, it's 88 making it happen.
He's a great weapon over the middle for the last 2 games. He came up with some big. There's the pirouette. Gosh, running. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah,
that was a great call. That was the double pirouette hezzy. He went to run, and then a linebacker got in the backfield, and Josh just outran him for a 7-yard gain.
As we've both seen, that pirouette usually ends up in a sack. So the man over the middle we were talking about.
And what did we say? If you want that first down, you don't go to Dawson Creek. You don't try to break into Fort Knox. You just go to Dawson Knox. Let's go. I think we're over 100 now. Shout out everyone tuning in.
And we still have that first Bills TD drive for a $25 gift card to a local restaurant in your area of your choosing. So, again, in the comments, who's going to score the touchdown.
Damn, that was a great read, Dan. Don't be trying to steal the spotlight from me, though. I want it all. Justin Todd saying he's got a K2 NE IPA he's working on. Shout out Peter Martinez. He's working on a Modelo. And shout out Adam McComb, staying responsible, sipping on that water. We love you all. Shout out everyone for tuning in. 2nd and 9 for the Bills. I'm surprised they didn't lose yards on that play, to be honest.
They've just abandoned the run here. Pirouette.
Allen says, take that, run abandonment, as he's dragged down by 2 defenders, but not until he brings up a 3rd and short. That's the second consecutive set of downs, 2nd and 3 set of downs, Dan, where a Josh Allen run has brought up 3rd and 3. And then he goes to Dawson Knox, but it's going to be short. See, now, this is where the simulation meets the grain. I think that it's possible that the Bills might go for it in real life. I can also see the Bills not going for it. In a 3-0 game on the road, your defense is playing well. But I think that more often than not, the traditional offense in today's NFL is going to go for this.
Put your foot back on the gas pedal, get your horses ready, and go for it. No.
Oh, man. 59-yarder for T-Bass. Puts the hammer into it. Good! 59 yards for T-Bass. I said he was strong inside 60, and he shows that my words are actually worth something. T-Bass was 59. If you've got him in fantasy football, he's already got you 10 points. The Bills take 6-0.
Shout it right now, baby. Come on, come on.
We are closing in on the end of the here. Shout out to you, shout out Jason T, shout out everyone tuning in. See a lot of Facebook, a lot on Twitter. Love having you guys watching. Shout out Chris L, Matthew Howard. We're rolling along. This is the Titans' 3rd possession. So far, Ryan Tannehill has not been able to get it.
The defense has definitely come up stout. I was going to say that. Oh, that's a big hit. That's my guy.
Oh, Mike can lay the wood. Don't think just playing like 12 to 15 yards off the line. He's not a hard hitter.
Yeah, he can bring the lumber. Whew.
Big time in those pass breakups.
3 of 7, 33 yards. This is a typical Bills Titans. 6-3, 6-0.
3rd and short. Oh wow! They almost set up like it was kind of like a mini one blocker screen. Smith for them was incredible last postseason. He was basically one of their top, in my opinion, one of the top receiving options. Obviously, he's not their deep guy, but it's just hard to break down. He's an athletic kind of tweener, tight end wide receiver. First down for Tennessee. Closing in, this will probably be the second to last play of the first quarter. If they run it, it could likely be the last play.
Coming on to the second quarter here, you know what that means.
You know what that means. Get it up, Grawick. We are at the end of the first quarter. Folks, don't forget, check out Bills Mafia AR, a chance to get a Bills Mafia shirt from Gratwick Gaming, welcoming our new Bills down. It's an awesome interactive product and one that truly encapsulates the passion of Bills Mafia. But speaking of passion, people are passionate about these giveaways. We've got a Code Sox drive coming up whenever the Bills get the ball here in the second quarter, so stay tuned for that. Well, folks, we got... Shout out Phil Leonard in Buffalo Bills Pride Watch Party, sipping on Scotch neat. Let's go. We got some classy fans. I mean, Bills Mafia, people talking, we are like the bourgeoisie of NFL fans. Of course, we're not in the upper tier, but we're upper middle class. It's okay. We know how to have a good time. We know how to be responsible doing it. Let's go. Big stop in the early set of downs, bringing up a 2nd and 9.
To see if this bend but don't break happens here now. It's been the mantra for the last 2 games.
Yep, most definitely. But they are going to break inside the Code Sox red zone with that one. They are going to be down to the 12-yard line. And folks, while they're in the Code Sox red zone, don't forget, Gratwick Gaming, we have guest hosts coming up for these Bills Madisons, as well as upcoming events like a Rocket League tournament and Gratwick Gaming hosted game nights. If you're looking to talk you're looking to talk gaming, you're looking to talk what's going on in the scene, there's no better place to do it than Gratwick Gaming. So make sure you are following along, following Gratwick Gaming, Code Sox, and of course us here at Trainwreck Sports. The Titans will have a first down at the 12-yard line.
You gotta get some middle pressure here. There we go. Nope.
You got to wrap up. I mean, there was no problem with where everybody was on that play. And in a game that the Bills have dominated for the first 17 minutes, the Titans are knocking on the door to take the lead.
Big stop there.
Second and 1.
That's a big play. That Klein?
Yep, Calvin making a play in the backfield. Watch out for those briefs. Well, we got Nick Wild saying it could be a pick 6 for Trey White.
Had it last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, yep, exactly. 2 nights ago, I think it was 3 weeks ago now. Yep, Trey White pick was the first TD. We got a man to the outside, but it's Tremaine Edmonds saying step for step with him in pass coverage. It's going to be a loss of 1. And what was a 2nd and 1 at the 3-yard line instead will turn into a 4th and 4, and the Titans will be forced to kick a field.
Entire possession where our linebackers come up big. We were talking about at the beginning of the game.
No doubt about it. Got to continue to be productive. The kick is up for Tennessee, and it's good. They'll have the Bills lead with 11:34 to go in the second quarter. Bills lead the Titans 6-3.
Right, and for this sock drive, you have to follow Code Sox on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. On Instagram and Twitter, it's codes_socks. Then on Facebook, it's at Code Sox. So got to be in it to win it.
I was almost going to get upset about you missing the underscore, but of course the CEO czar of Code Sox is not going to forget about the underscore. Make sure you're giving Code Sox a follow. Lots of entertaining and great content with some of the top Bills of present day and past.
We've got a couple more things in the pipeline, so we're going to see if they can happen in the next couple of weeks here.
No doubt about it. Shout out everyone for continuing to tune in. We are rocking. We are rolling. Don't forget, Bills currently sitting at 7-5 in the standings. They are just a half game out of the division lead for that AFC East.
See in the chat, Todd Skachillis calling the John Brown mobile bomb. Love to see that.
Calling the John Brown bomb. Diggs getting that first CD. Nick Wild says it's Singletary. Troy Allen with you dig for 6. Troy won a couple nights ago. Congratulations. We got Jake Hager. Is that Jake Hager, the former Jack Swagger? Ooh, we're hearing. What are we seeing? Stream's frozen. That's not good.
Yeah, guys, we're having a little technical difficulty. Stick around though. Let's find out who everybody thinks is going to be the most underrated, unsung hero of the Buffalo Bills this year. I'm gonna put it in the chat there. Give you guys a shout out.
Yep, like Code says, folks, we are just working technical difficulties to get it back online. Sometimes we run about we're about 2 seasons in, and every so often the PS4 just does not cooperate that we're running on. And typically a 90-second to 2-minute break, and we'll get right back to the action. Bills currently trailing 7-6, but like Codes asked, who do you think is going to be the unsung hero of the Bills?
We can see you, bud.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, there you go. He's good.
I don't know what happened.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. We got just a lot going on. Obviously, we're seeing people. Folks, welcome back to another exciting edition of the NFQL, brought to you by Gratwick Gaming. What I would ask, sponsored by 26 Shirts, Code Sox, and presented to you by us here at Trainwreck Sports. Let's pick up last week's matchup. Bills looking to go 7-5. We're in the first quarter. Field goal, no, it's a fake. Jake Fromm looking for the first down. He's not going to get it. Gase pumped up on the sideline. Next possession with the good field position. happen. Jets take advantage. Legatron Zerline makes
He
it a
could.
6-0 game. Bills would answer back early in the second quarter. Allen looking at the goal line. It's smoke. It's a touchdown. That gives the Bills a 7-6 lead. He's dancing. He's prancing. He's having a good time. You see great execution on the sideline slant there. And we'll say it was not an easy game for Sam Darnold. As you see here, A.J. Epinesa with a big game sacking the Jets QB. Bills again in the red zone. Allen looking over the middle. An amazing acrobatic grab. You expect that from Dawson Knox, maybe, someone else, not Tyler Kroft. But if he can have a big year like that, especially in 2020 like this sim, then the Bills offense will be rocking. They will be rolling. And I'll tell you who else was rolling. Sam Darnold. He left the game with injury briefly, and Ed Oliver demolished the backup Morgan. Look at this again. Tell me this isn't a flying cross body. I mean, my goodness, it surprised me he wasn't at ECMC after that. Sam Darnold would return. He'd lead the Jets down the field in the late third quarter. Touchdown, makes it a 14-12 game. They were dancing. The New Era Field crowd was none too pleased about that. 2-point conversion, looking on the slant over the middle. It was caught. We had a tie game with just over 15 minutes to go, but that was far from through. The Bills would drive a 43-yard chip shot for T-Bass. It's up. It's good. Just over 11 minutes to go. He's fist pumping. The Bills take a 3-point lead. Legatron, 54-yard field goal with just over 3 minutes to go. It's up. Dan Gambino thought he might have missed, but it was good. Legatron ties us at 17.
From our production truck, the wires got a little bit crossed.
At the end of the game, we had Darnold looking to get the Jets in field goal position, but again, a huge game from A.J. Epinesa. He sacks him and brings it down and forces. We are going to overtime, where the Jets were driving until Tremaine Edmonds made a huge interception just outside the red zone 4 minutes into overtime, giving the Bills the ball. And the Bills almost did the same on the next play. Devin Singletary would run it up the middle, fumble, and actually almost coughed it up. They would move their way into the red zone. Josh Allen would find Dawson Knox to the 5, the goal line, touchdown, the New Era Field crowd going nuts. The Bills get an overtime win. The Jets and Bills were log jammed in the AFC East at 6-5. This moves the Bills to 7-5 within a half game of the division lead. Dawson Knox continuing to be a beast in the sim. We'll see if this can continue tonight on the NFQL.
I actually love the 4 o'clock game out west because when it's an away game, it lets you watch all the other 1 o'clock games, of which there's more of. I mean, are you on the same page there?
Yeah, 100%. I like the 4 o'clock. What three games would you want to see?
I like a 4 o'clock game more than the primetime game, but if I had to choose 3 primetime out of our whole schedule that I could choose, I would say I would want us to play Monday Night Football at home against the Chiefs. That would be my one Monday Night Football game. If I can cheat the system and get 2 home primetime games, the other primetime game I would want, obviously, if the Chargers are being quarterbacked by Tyrod Taylor, it's an amazing storyline, but I'd actually want the New York Jets to play them in primetime. We haven't played well in primetime against them in the past, but I think it's a good opportunity to see Sam Darnold versus Josh Allen. And, of course, I want those 2 games in primetime at home. If I have to go with one away primetime game, I mean, it's pretty simple for me. Las Vegas.
Vegas, yeah. I'd like to see Kansas City at home as a primetime game. That would be advantageous for us with that crowd noise. I would like to see out west the San Francisco game. I'd like to start there actually on Monday. Personally, that'd be a great storyline for that late game. Everybody needs their viewership, and we all know the NFL's tailed off in that second viewership of the late game on the Monday night to start the season. That would be a good fit.
I don't know if you or anyone in the chat remembers, but in like early 2019, late 2018, there was a rumor that Jimmy Garoppolo was spotted at Mulberry's. It was like one of the most ridiculous rumors in the history of the Bills. It's like when you see someone at the airport, like whenever there's a rumor, there's always the rumor that you see someone at the airport. But if you look on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, there's legitimately posts about people joking that Jimmy Garoppolo, before he signed his big 49ers deal, was seen at Mulberry's. Just a ridiculous series of events, to be honest. Because then a couple days later, he did sign his 49ers deal.
Looks like they're coming back.
Who's coming back? What, Mulberry's is coming back?
Looks like the game's coming back on. Looks like
The game is coming back. Adam McCombs is saying he saw a shirtless guy. I mean, we're going to have to check the tape on that and get back to you. We'll have Cover One look into it, see what's going on. Shout out Oscar Rene Martinez Cervantes. I don't know if that's like a play on Oscar Martinez from The Office, but that's an awesome name. So shout out ORMC for tuning in. We are rocking. We are rolling. $100%. Okay, well, we'll take your word for it. We just got to confirm. We got to look into it. I mean, obviously, no good journalist, Codes, and I know this, can confirm anything without two sources. You can't just have one source.
Oh.
Oh, now you're both 100%. Tony McStark, I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Tony McStark. You're not a real person. And I don't mean that to cut through you as an individual. I just mean, like, what you represent.
it's back up. So it looks like we're punting with 9 minutes left in the second quarter.
Better not be.
Yeah.
Okay, we're rocking and rolling. Punt in. Let's see. We're inside 10 minutes. Yep. Got it. Bajorka's bomb. Great coverage.
We'll run through another sock giveaway since we left.
Yeah, we left mid sock drive. I mean, talk about, like, it was like a Lord of the Rings ending. You didn't know when it was over.
So on the next drive, we'll go ahead and we'll do another sock giveaway since we view the other one. We'll run it back.
If first you don't succeed, try to give away stuff again. That's the golden rule of giveaways, folks. Yeah, these Titans jerseys are pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. At home, pretty dark, crisp, looking good. But the Bills are looking to outshine them in those all whites.
Can't go wrong with the white on white.
Yep, Corey Davis making a play as Jordan Poyer comes up and makes the tackle. We got James Parson locking in Knox for the TD next drive.
I was a big fan of their blue jerseys, Tennessee, back in the day. Baby blue. The steady Eddie George days.
Oh my goodness, Javon Curse almost ate Rob Johnson during that playoff game.
Oh yeah. Let's be clear about that playoff game though. Rob Johnson walked off that field a winner.
That's what makes it all the more painful though, to be honest. Like, when you look at it, you can't be like, oh, we could have just started Flutie and then we would have won. Like, Johnson actually did what he needed. He was running off with the he didn't have a shoe on. He was running the no huddle with one shoe, right?
Come down the field. Points on the board. Off. Hero. Everybody would have been touting Rob Johnson this and Rob Johnson that. As soon as they lost, it was we should have started Flutie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want a hot take, I mean, obviously, I still am of the opinion and will always be of the opinion that it was a forward lateral. It wasn't a monster forward lateral. It was a forward lateral by a couple inches to a half a foot or so. But with it being a lateral, that Bills kickoff coverage was probably the worst coverage I've ever seen in my life. Because when he lateraled that ball, there were maybe 2 players for the Bills on the entire field that had a shot at stopping that guy. I mean, I remember Steve Christie and one other Bills player with like a convoy of like 5 to 6 Titans blockers just annihilating them.
Why not kick the ball out of bounds? Get out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back, they're definitely going to kick it deep. They kicked it short, like, ridiculously. So they almost screwed up the plan from the beginning because they kicked it short and Lorenzo Neal fielded it. He couldn't throw the ball.
And speaking of short, 3rd and 12 just became a 3rd and 15.
Yep, and it just became a 4th and 16.
Play.
Titans will be forced to punt it away.
Got a Tyler Croft. Put out Donnie Ribick.
Bills are going to need a beast of a drive here if they're going to make things happen. It's a pretty good first play, though. First down play.
Loving that empty backfield set on 2nd down.
Yeah, I mean, I think it simplifies the field for Allen. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to pass it, that's what you want.
Good to see that man back in there. 14 back in the game. One's just not there for them today. 2nd down. Why wouldn't it be an empty backfield? It's working.
Oh, yeah. First down. We got the I formation. Is this going to be a pass like it always is? Yup. We got a screen. He's not even using his blockers. We don't need no stinking blockers. We are over midfield, bringing up a 2nd and short, GG. That's the 2-minute warning. Or as they say at your Miami Heat American Airlines Arena, dos minutos. Oh, man. We're going to be down to the 44-yard line.
A big run.
Big for A17. And where are we at, Dan?
Stocks red zone.
Let's go. And there's a lot still at play here. We have the first Bills touchdown we were looking for. Not to mention, the Bills taking a big lead in this game. Not to mention, shout out Guy Fieri for the triple D. It is a double dipper drive. We got the first Bills touchdown, a chance to win $25 gift card to your favorite local restaurant, courtesy of Gratwick Gaming. Follow @codes_socks and @codesocks on Facebook for a chance to win a great pair of Code Socks, as well as following and sharing the stream as well. Josh Allen getting it done with his legs on this drive, Dan.
Like a little flex at the end there. It looks like he threw it out there for a quick second.
I love it. Showing a little swagger on prime time. Speaking of swagger, I want to ask you something after this play. Hold on. 2nd and 2 coming up. Shotgun for J.A. Where else would he be? And we get a first down. So when you think of Tremaine Edmonds, do you think Tremaine Edmonds has a patented or go-to celebration?
I think he's just all about business. I think he's just me up, my head, jump around, get off the field. Job, go home.
Josh Allen, 5, goal line, he slides, touchdown!
The Bills make me want
Buffalo!
Kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your head back and come on now. The Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Say you will. Shout it right now, baby. Say you will. Come on, come on. Say you will. Come on and shout.
Josh Allen giving the Bills a 13-3 lead, scoring that touchdown, getting that Bills first touchdown, getting that sock drive TD. Dan, it is a giveaway bonanza.
Free is for me. That's what I've always said and I've always believed in. And we're going to congratulate Patrick Callahan, the Code Sox winner. Patrick, message us on one of the 3 platforms, and we'll get some autographed Robbie Tack 716 socks, Robbie Tack from the Goo Goo Dolls, out to you as quickly as possible.
Wow, sounds like he'll be enjoying better days with that Code Sox memorabilia. And then I do believe, do we still have a 1 through 4 on the first Bills CD, courtesy of Josh Allen, DG?
Yeah, I think we need the people to pick a number 1 through 4 for the winner on the.
So we had 4 Josh Allen entries. We'll take the first 5 number submissions. Pick 1 through 4. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Whichever number gets the most out of those first 5, you will be the winner for the $25 gift card. But we got it 3 or 4.
Somebody's going to pick the winner. Someone's going to pick the loser. Someone's just going to not be happy.
Someone's going to pick the winner, someone's going to pick the loser, and someone's going to pick their nose. That's the way it works on the internet. Big sack for AJ Epinesa. I think he could be closing in on double-digit sacks. We're going to have to check with our producer, but and the results are in. We're not talking Jumanji with Robert Parrish. We are talking number 2, Jesse Parrish. Congratulations. You are the winner of the Gratwick Gaming $25 gift card to your favorite local restaurant. Congratulations. Shout out to everyone who entered. Direct message Gratwick Gaming for further details on how to confirm your prize. Congratulations and shout out to everyone that entered.
If you didn't win and you still want to rep your area code or Fred Jackson or our beloved Pancho Billa, stop on over to codesox.com, rep out for your city, and check out our new line of t-shirts.
And shout out to the chat. That was pretty cool. A quick little number spam to pick the winners. It's fun to be giving away stuff, and to be honest, it's a little extra fun to be getting the crowd involved in those giveaways, Dan.
And Bruce was the deciding vote. We had a 3-way tie through 6 people. So the 7th one's the one that came through and picked that winner.
And we're looking at the numbers. We got the Bills at +6 in this game. They're looking great as far as that goes. The over-under 48, it's looking like an under. This is not a game where you want to have anyone starting in fantasy football, folks, unless it's Josh Allen.
Allen's getting it done with his legs and his arm. He's utilized in the middle of the field. It's something that we've been talking about through the progressions of the season, him making wiser decisions with his legs. I'm glad to see it coming to fruition.
With the addition of Diggs, the evolution of Knox, more continued reps with Beasley, John Brown, do you think that Josh Allen is a top 8 fantasy QB in the NFL this year? Comment in the chat if you think he'll be a top 8. As you see, the Bills are on the bubble looking to make the playoffs. They need this game bad to get in that playoff picture. They're currently the number 1 team on the bubble. Bills will start this half with the ball leading 13-3. First play for J.A. and this offense, shotgun over the middle, and that's a good start to this drive to Stephon Diggs.
Used in the middle of the field like we've been calling for. Hate to sound like a broken record, but I love to see it.
Yeah, the middle of the field has been awesome.
See what they could
posing before you decided to ghost me. With the evolution of Josh Allen in his year 3, another year of reps with Brown and Beasley, Stephon Diggs, you got Knox entering his 2nd year. Using his legs, do you think Josh Allen will be a top 8 fantasy QB this season?
Oh, yeah. I don't see how you couldn't be. I mean, you see what's happened in the past with people like Cam Newton that were good with their legs, and Mahomes is good with his legs. I mean, having that dual threat option puts you in the top 5 if you're consistent.
Ooh, Josh has got to put that ball a little bit more to the right, leading Cole Beasley down the field. Instead, it was almost picked.
Yeah, I'm sure Cole will go back to the sideline and tell him, hey, man, get it out in front of me.
It was And folks, you may have noticed, obviously, this was an 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time kickoff for the Sunday night primetime game. But these NFQL games, they're all about the people. They're all about you. They're all about the near 100 people watching on social media right now. This Bills Mafia. Comment whether you would prefer the games at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to check it out. Because we obviously want to put it at the best time for you guys to come watch. So if that's later at night, then that's what we want to do. And if it's at 7 p.m., what we've been doing, obviously we want to prioritize the Bills Mafia. Is that Trey White on a sack?
Coming off the edge.
Woo! My man can do it all. If he puts up like 5 sacks this year, he could be making $20 million a year.
Oh, he's gonna be making more than $20 million a year when they give it to him.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh yeah, seeing what's the guy's name down in Miami? I just drew a blank. Seeing that he got 20, we get 21 a year. That puts Trey in the 24 plus a year, I'd say, if he makes another Pro Bowl and he has the same production. He's got Revis-like numbers.
What if instead, because obviously, I mean, what was Howard's term on his deal? Because there's all kinds of variables to these contracts. So I'm sure with the way that Bean works, he's going to want to, manipulate those years, average salary, best way he can. Let me look at and see what Xavier Howard got for those numbers.
He got 5 years.
75 mil, wow.
Yeah, 5 years, 75 mil.
Okay, so guaranteed at signing 27. So $15 million a year. So that makes me believe then that they can get Trey White for under $20 million a year. But basically, I think you're going to have to make it a 6 or a 7 year deal, and I think they're going to do that to give themselves some more cap flexibility as well. I have no idea what's going on like with the salary cap, so I'm not trying to sound like some kind of guru, but you see it all the time that when you have a little bit of a longer deal, you can front load, you can back load, you can put stuff into guaranteed money, signing bonus to lessen the hit, obviously.
Personally, I believe that the Bills learned their lesson with these long, extended contracts with a lot of money tied up and a player that you have to make a decision after 7 years. I could see it being a shorter-term deal for more money. Knowing his agent, knowing how Clinton operates, because he represents Jamal Adams as well, he likes the bigger market. That's what I'm personally scared of. When that bigger market mentality from an agent comes into play, it usually spills over into the player, and more money is the only way to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, I think we have to agree to disagree on that one. I would have agreed 10 years ago, but I think these guys, they've lived their life basically completely separate from football. Obviously, they're in Buffalo July, June, through the end of the year, but I mean, just the way that they live, like, it seems different to me now. Just because you play for the Bills doesn't mean you have to live in Buffalo. You see Jordan Poyer go living down with you in Florida. I mean, I get the bigger market argument, but I think that we're just a little bit past that. I think that for Trey, I mean, especially too, I mean, he's part of the community. Like, they got apparel, Trey White Goalie Academy. I mean, they're gonna want to keep this guy. So he could force them to pay some extra money, but I'm hoping that it'll be under 20.
I'm hoping they find a way to keep him there. Him shutting people down, pretty much a Revis-like corner. Those guys only come along. Could you imagine if they would have kept Gilmore and then drafted Trey?
Yeah, I mean, that would have been pretty insane. Yeah, I guess you could ask, like, kind of a butterfly effect. If they had Gilmore, maybe they don't look at CB as much of a need.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, the thing with Gilmore is Rex Ryan just ruined Gilmore. He ruined the entire Bills defense. I hate to say it, but when you have Mario Williams dropping back into coverage.
Oh, we got a screen here, Zach.
That screen. Close to bringing up a third and short. But, I mean, yeah, when you just look at Gilmore on some of the coverages that he played as a Bill versus how he plays in New England, he's just so much better utilized.
Well, they let him do what he has to do.
Zach Moss getting a big first down for this Bills offense. And we've talked, Dan, throughout the sim and even in real life, that killer instinct for the Bills. When you smell blood in the water, can you put your foot on the back of their neck? And right now, this Bills offense is doing just that.
Yeah, they're doing pretty much everything we've been asking them to do for the last 2 weeks. Now let's see how they can finish this drive, not end up in three, but end up in the touchdown.
All right, shout out everyone chiming in for the 7 p.m.s, it sounds like. Shout out CBW, Chris Black-Williams, out on the Pacific's time zone. So it's great to have all these Bills fans all over the country tuning in for these streams. And we're all anxious to see how Josh and this team are going to do. Is this the most anticipated season since, I would say maybe the year we got Drew Bledsoe, but also, the late Super Bowl run.
That's a horrible play on first down. Sorry to cut you off, but I would say, yeah, this is the most anticipated probably since Drew Bledsoe, because there was a lot of hype coming out that we finally got a quarterback, and I would say this has the biggest upside potential with the team that we have right now. It's built to win now.
And yeah, we're not sleeping on that Bledsoe hype. People were crazy. Bobby Shaw, Peerless Price, Eric Moulds. Are you kidding me? What a core.
Yeah, we had
Travis. We got blockers, but they can't hold up, and it's going to be a 3rd and goal at the 10, man.
Yeah, they had Travis Henry at that time. He was a pretty stable running back. They had a lot going for them.
Oh my gosh! Did you see that? They just
pick?
Madden glitched where it was only a receiver along the sideline. He could have caught it, but he momentumed out of bounds.
Oh yeah.
In real life, that would never happen, but it's okay. We got to play by the sim rules, and we're running on the field goal unit. T-Bass, arguably the Bills' MVP this season. Josh Allen has been inconsistent. The defense has been consistent to inconsistent. T-Bass has been the one steady figure of this team. When you don't ask him to kick a 60-plus yarder.
Yep. We got this shout song going.
Yeah, I thought I heard it too, but I did not. Instead, we are rocking, we are rolling 16-3. Like I said, not exactly the game you want to have if you're an overbacker, but you got that. If you have the Bills money line at +6, right now you'd be looking at about 2.5 to 1 on your money. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Michael Rivera shouting us out from Germany in the military. Thank you very much for your service, sir.
Yep,
are you
thank
kidding
you.
Me? We are more than ecstatic that you would join us for this stream because we all love the Buffalo Bills. No one circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills, but nobody takes care of our country and makes sure we're safe like our military. So shout out to all the armed forces, anyone tuning in, especially Michael Rivera tuning in the Bills Mafia here.
Yeah, Michael, stay safe over there, and we're praying for all you guys.
Most definitely. A crazier time could not be had, honestly. You have the pandemic as well as everything happened internationally. It's great to have watching around the world. We love having you guys. We love hearing what you have to say. So whether you want to comment, if you have a question for me or Dan, maybe you're asking Dan, how'd you start Code Sox? How'd you get involved? How'd you meet all these Bills people? Feel free to, chime it in. When I met Dan, he was already a head honcho. He was already thinking he was too cool for school.
Never been too cool for school.
Most definitely. So we got Chris S. chiming in from Buffalo. So, of course, we're expecting a lot of Western New York faithful, but it's great to see you guys chiming in from all over the world. We love you. We love Bills Mafia. There's no group we'd rather be. We talk about how great that party was, and I know I called it an 87 yesterday, but when that party was going, it was just a hell of a time.
It was just great to see all the Bills Mafia characters, we'll say, all the super fans in one place. And a lot of them had never been in the same place like that, meeting each other and meeting new faces and meeting us and the brands that want to bring you as much content. You, myself, Cold Front, we had Stevie Johnson there, and it was a good time. We had a bunch of giveaways. We raised over $4,000, I believe it was, throughout the whole course of the night for the Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame and the 50-50 for Bills Fan Thunder, and we rose money for Poncho. It was just a great atmosphere, and I'm really hoping that we could do another Mafia party to get everybody together again.
Yeah, I had the privilege of doing some events like at 500 Pearl last year and things like that for most events, I mean, you're going to be spending hundreds of dollars, not to mention bar tab, just to get entry to wherever you're going, or for, a charitable donation. Not to sound ridiculous, obviously charity has its place in time, but if you're a Bills fan and you just wanted to enjoy the best Bills atmosphere going into the homecoming game, the Bills home opener, there was no better spot to be than the Mafia homecoming party. So hopefully, again, we can have another one like this year.
Yeah, a lot of people left with some good memorabilia, some great memories, and a lot of people left with a hangover too.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I think I still have one. We got Ricardo Beltran chiming in. Bills Mafia from Arizona. This is a great question from Jake Hager. We were talking about it earlier. I said that I wanted a KC Chiefs Monday Night Football game. I wanted Sunday Night Football against the Jets or the Chargers if Tyrod's starting. And I want on the road night game against the Vegas Raiders. I think it would be great, especially because if we go to that game, I know that I want to go to the game, but fans are obviously going to be a question mark. I would love to be in Vegas for a 5 p.m. kickoff and get out of that game at 8:30 and still have the full night ahead.
Yeah, it's a different dinosaur when you're on the West Coast going to games.
No doubt. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, I don't know when the last time you were in Vegas was. We had the fortune of actually going. We went for the Sabres game in late February.
And yeah, that's a 12 o'clock start, right? Basically, it feels like.
well, for the Sabres, so the Sabres game or whatever was, it was going on. Just the atmosphere for that regular season NHL game was legitimately like an atmosphere that the Buffalo would have for a Stanley Cup game.
They have the drum line going.
I had the drum line, the Vegas Golden Knight going nuts, like just the pyrotechnics, the show, it felt like a legitimate community pep rally. Speaking of community pep rallies, Ed Oliver rallies to the quarterback, save a horse, ride a cowboy, big sack for Eddie O.
We have Dwayne Hodge watching from the Virgin Islands. Which island? We have that's where the other half of my company, my business partner, lives in the Virgin Islands on St. Thomas.
Virgin Islands, that was where I lived for the first 25 years of my life. All right, we're over it. Titans offense getting back to it. Third down, I believe, coming up here, unless we've just had a really long in-between plays. Nope, second down. They're showing the highlights of the sack.
Yeah, this is a typical Bills Titans Bills Titans game. 16-3, bunch of field goals, a lot of defense. I'm liking what I'm seeing a lot of our defense today.
Most definitely. Wow, that Bills-Titans game, I'll never forget that kicker. My gosh, Cairo Santos, can you possibly miss more? Sack! Fumble! Oh my gosh, they were lucky to recover it, or else we had 3 to 4 Bills right in the vicinity. I think that would have been a scoop and score.
Looked like a scoop and score. It's great pressure. Love seeing it coming off the edge again. We're loving those corner and safety blitzes.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I think we would say we didn't see such aggression from the secondary earlier in the year. I really think we're seeing a CPU, Leslie Frazier adjustment. We have less of a dynamic line with Hughes out, so they're looking to supplement that pressure from the secondary. You love to see it.
Yeah, now let's see if they can close the door. We keep talking about keeping the pedal on the gas, making sure they're closing out the games. Let's see if they're going to do it now.
Oh, yeah. This is the time to do it. Right now, you're up 13 points, and we learned from Houston. You don't need a field goal here. You need a touchdown. You need to go up 3 possessions. You need to take this one down.
Speaking of taking it down, we need to move the opposite of that. We need to move up in that playoff race, and we have to hope that the Dolphins can get another loss here.
Oh, yeah. I'm not too worried. Obviously, the biggest factor in that is that the Bills have already lost twice to the Dolphins, so that's obviously devastating. But the way that this Bills team is playing right now, Dan, they were 1-4. Now they're 7-5. So they're 6-1 in the last 7. They've clearly realized the key to winning. You see it here. This has just been imposing their will on the Titans offense. Titans offense has been stuck in a phone booth all day. Secondary is bringing the heat this game. Jason Joel couldn't have said it better myself.
And they're running the ball. They're mixing it up on the offensive play scheme. I'm actually liking what Dable has going on here. They're mixing in a little bit of Singletary with a dash of a Cole Beasley, with a dash of a Diggs. I like the way they're moving the ball right now.
Yeah, they're keeping a well-balanced effort. I cannot tell you how. I mean, I think it's pretty rare to see Devin Singletary get to double-digit carries. It was actually like a Bills storyline in the middle of last season. I mean, we wanted Devin to get more touches. It was tough because he got nicked up after his first 2 games when he did get those touches, but they're just simply a different offense when he has the ball in his hands.
I can go back to 2 games where he had under 10 carries, and it's just a head scratcher. The Baltimore game, 7 carries. I believe it was the Cleveland game.
I was literally just going to say the Cleveland game. I mean, it was like the game was there for the taking. That's why the Cleveland loss was so frustrating. You had a couple Hauschka misses. You had Devin not getting a ton of touches. And the most frustrating on that, it's like exactly like the Rob Johnson factor, Dan. They had a chance late. They were up with 5 minutes to go, and they allowed a Cleveland drive to go ahead.
Yeah, you can't let teams hang around. And last year they did a lot of that. They did a lot of letting teams hanging around, and we lost a couple games because of it. Let's go to the New England game. Fast forward. Go to the New England game at the end of the season. We definitely had a chance. We outplayed them. I'm going to go on record as saying this, and it's videotape. We outplayed them in 2 games last year, and we lost both of them.
I would agree. I would say for the first 20 minutes of each game, they outplayed us. Then for the next 30 minutes of each game, the Bills were the better team. Between that second, third, and fourth quarter at New Era Stadium, and then definitely in the second quarter when Josh throws the touchdown to Dion, throws the touchdown to John Brown in the third quarter, Bills had a ton of momentum. It's just about growing as a team. I mean, let's face it, it's very rare that you go from regular season to Super Bowl. Now they've had the growing pains, they've played close games versus good teams, all about growing and finding a way to finish those.
Yeah, it's a lot of it had to do with the play calling. A lot of it had to do with decision making. But I think this year they're really going to be able to get everything tied in together.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Ooh, it was a rough one. Okay, 2nd and 4, we got the I formation. Is this going to be a pass like it always is? Yes. Is he going to tinkle toe it on the sideline? Yes. Is that Diggs or Brown?
Went too fast. Didn't see it. I believe it was Brown.
It was Brown. He twinkles it. And where are we, Dan?
We are in that Code Sox red zone.
We are in the Code Sox red zone. And folks, in the next week matchup of this Bills sim, Bills will go on the road to San Francisco. And no, they're not going to be taking on Michelle, DJ, and Stephanie and the Tanner family. They're going to be taking on Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to be a full house of action tomorrow night. Kickoff starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're there.
Set your timer because that San Francisco treat is going to go right to your belly.
Oh, yeah. Shout out. Oh, there's one of our favorite regs. Robert Williams checking in. What up? I'm late. You know you're a regular when you say you're late to the game.
Better late than never, Robert. Better late than never.
Seriously, Rob. No, we're not going to hand this off to Beasley, right? Oh, we did, and we got a first down on a 10. Beasley inside the 5. Dable getting crafty.
Yeah, it's a nice little jet sweep there. I'd like to see a lot more of that come this season, especially if McKenzie's on the team, as we spoke about yesterday.
Oh, my gosh. I can't even tell you how much I love that McKenzie play. It felt like every time we used it. 5, 10. If it was a 3rd and short, first down every single time. Just love it. Josh with the slant. They love to use that at the goal line. Touchdown, Stephon Diggs.
Getting that separation key at the goal line, and got it. Took it to the end zone.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shout it right now, baby. Come on, come on. Come on and shout. Yeah. Buffalo's happening now. We're on the move now. The Bills are happening now. They're making it happen now.
2-point conversion try there. That was a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that was about. I mean, I guess they figured they were up 3 scores, so if you're going to get, like, you know, a field, the 2 touchdowns and a field goal doesn't really mean it. So if you're going to be up, you might as well be up 21 versus 20. That does make sense. There's no difference between 19 and 21, you know?
No, that makes sense. It would have been a 3-touchdown game.
Yeah, the only difference now is if they miss an extra point, or if they miss 2 extra points, they can still tie on 3 touchdowns. To be honest, I would be shocked to see them actually do a 2-point conversion up 20-3, but who knows? I'm sorry, up
22-3. Yeah.
22. I'm up 22-3. I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, they're up 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, teach their own.
Yeah, it's all about that book. They say the book says to do it, then you got to follow.
Do they sell that book on Amazon, you think?
Oh no, it's literally 1 page. They talk about like it's a book. It's like a table. It's a 10 by 10 table.
It's another sheet they have the get back coach bring over, and he hands it to him, and he says, "What does the book say?"
Yes. Oh, intercepted. Right? No, incomplete. Yes, intercepted. Couldn't tell whether he came up with it. Levi Wallace on the interception. And folks, I don't want to assume and make an ass out of you and me, but I think it's good night now for Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. I think that fat lady is warming up, Dan.
She's ready. She's got her falsetto going. She's ready and cued in, just waiting for the conductor to get her in.
Most definitely. And
Yeah,
so we got a
Jason-
lot of people chiming in the chat here. Sorry, Dan, didn't mean to cut you off.
Nope.
Obviously, Dan and myself are constantly all over the Bills tailgates, especially in the Hammer lot. When you guys two go to a Bills game, what lot do you typically tailgate in? What are some of your favorite traditions? Everyone has them. Dan, let's start with you. What are some of your favorites when you get going in the grass lot, or especially at Hammer lot?
I enjoy the Hammer lot, but I enjoy the walk into the game from the Hammer lot because everybody is ready to go. Everyone's pumped up until you get to the gate and there's that bottleneck, and a little uncertainty of who's in line and where they're in line. But I love that feeling, that rush. You can party in any lot and have a great time, but that rush of we're going into the game, I have goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
I couldn't have said it better myself. You don't know who's in line or where the line is exactly. It's such a crucial juncture where you get in that part of the line, because if you're in a section that people aren't really paying attention, checking their phones, not prioritizing the game, you could end up in a 20 to 25 person clump that's not really moving.
Oh, I missed opening kickoff of that Cincinnati game, and it was because we couldn't get internet service to get our tickets.
I remember that being a disaster. I was in line, and I was literally on the longest line, and I finally got my Bills tickets thing working. I'd say with about 5 to 7 people before I had to get, metal detector and scan the ticket. So it was just it was a miracle on 4th Street for me.
Oh, for me, dude, I had to run from the gate all the way back to our vehicles because my phone died, get my backup battery, run all the way back, and still not have service to almost get in while having a panic attack in the middle of all those people.
Oh, for sure. It's not like it wasn't like an 85-degree day or anything. So we got New York going nuts. Finally, I learned like 3 games in that season ticket holders can still use their card they send you. So I was like, thank goodness, because I'm not putting up with my internet. Because they used to let you take a screenshot of it when you had good service, and then just scan that at the door. But now it has to be like a live feed, apparently.
Yeah, people were taking pictures of it and sending it to their friends, and scalpers were taking pictures and then sending you the picture. It just got bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And not an issue when they're used appropriately, but when someone has a double scan of a ticket or something like that, that's when there's an issue, obviously.
Alan, dump down. Is that Knox? Is that Knox?
I think that was Knox. Hard Knox. 2nd and 3. Who you got here, DG? 4 minutes to go. Bill's looking to run up the score.
Not Joey, not Pacey, but Dawson Knox.
Okay. We are inside the 5. I'm looking for Devin to get a little taste here. I know it seems like a layup pick. They always pass that I formation. We've seen that. Instead, they run it here. They'll be down to the 3, down to the 2.
I'd like to see him punch it in here. Make a little statement.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Exert your will. Inside 2:45 to go here. Titans fans heading for the exits. Yeldon nosing for that goal line, but he can't get there. Now we're going to go I formation. This is big. Up 19 with 2 minutes to go.
Justin Todd said anything other than the hammer lot is a distant second.
Ooh, I mean, that's fair. Now, with that said, I do have to say, when the bus lot was going full throttle,
That was a party.
I mean, and you know what? They are right. There were people being unsafe. There were people jumping off on top of buses, and obviously, if you're the Bills, you can't have that. But when the bus lot was going full throttle, it was like a spring break of parties. There were tons of parties at every single bus you could go to. So it was like 20 parties just lining up next to each other. It was a great atmosphere. Number two, when you took a bus to the game in November or December, you had something to retreat into to make sure you can stay a little hot. Like, I'm sorry, when I'm tailgating outside for 3, 4, maybe even 5 hours, I mean, occasionally I want to jump inside and warm up.
Yeah, be able to feel your phalanges there a little bit, right?
Oh yeah. Well, we got a lot of Hammer lot loyalty. Hopefully, I mean, I guess we're gonna be meeting a lot of these people. Will you guys meet us in the lot when we finally can get back to tailgating? I want to meet you guys.
Paul Burden, you're the DJ at the Pinto.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, that's what it says. Paul Burden, DJ at Pinto.
Let's go. Paul Vernon's spinning those tunes. And let's face it, DJing at the Pinto, that's like working the most chaotic corporate event you've ever seen between, the Red Pinto boys taking the mic and doing their part of the show, Pinto Ron, whoever the guest is. There is a lot of moving pieces, and that is a wild atmosphere to have it happen.
It's amazing. I'll tell you what. I was up on the bus, or the Art of the Van, I should say, week 1 with Stevie during the ketchup and mustard. There's nothing like it. If you've never been to see it, it's so much fun. And it doesn't matter if you're an away fan, if you're a Bills fan, if you're just there to hang out and party. It's such a great experience. It's definitely a bucket list item.
Definitely a spectacle. We have 82 seconds left in this game. We got 3rd and inches for the Titans. And actually, if you want to see the footage of Dan and Co. on the Pinto tailgate, we are going to work and get that ready for you at an upcoming broadcast. The ketchup and mustard ceremony. I love how they just say we got to do ketchup. It's not like a whole explanation. They're like, it's time for ketchup. Pinto Rock. I mean, I was fortunate enough to give him a smooch after one of the ketchup and mustard celebrations last year. But I mean, I'm thankful for that now, given the society we live in nowadays.
Yeah, it's. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a different atmosphere. I hope we can all get together and have fun and go through it all once football comes back.
Yeah, because I hate to say it, but the Hammer lot was basically the polar opposite of social distancing. The only thing I was distancing myself on was from the level of comfortability I had rubbing up against 5 to 10 strangers. It's Bills fans, don't get me wrong, and I'm loving the atmosphere. I'm not, far from complaining, but in today's social distancing world, that's not how it's going to be happening. So we'll see what happens. But I don't think you could take the passion or the distance out of that tailgate, but you can't take the passion out of those Bills fans.
No, not at all. And I'll tell you what, the passion is going to grow ever stronger if you can't go to the games. People are going to get together. They're going to band together. They're going to talk to their friends. They're going to be having parties in driveways and parties in garages. Social distancing hopefully will come to an end at some point. But believe me, Bills fans will find a way.
This is hysterical. Dallas beat Pittsburgh 38-35. So on one end, we have a high-scoring affair in the Sims. But as Jesse Parrish just pointed out, in this week of the matchups, we had a 0-0 Redskins-Giants final. We want to talk about a bad football game.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Just speculating, because people are talking about it now that we're talking about it. I think that tailgating definitely takes a hit this year. Every crowd, every type of discussion about major crowds, it's all about the vaccine, people. So if they can get the vaccine rocking and rolling, I think you'll see people a little bit more aggressive about the crowds, okay with larger audiences and everything like that. But until they get that locked down, Dan, I just don't see them allowing massive crowds really anywhere.
I don't see it happening. It would have to be a crazy scenario to let that happen. I was thinking the other night, how amazing would it be if they set something up where you could tailgate, you have your own area, and the game's going on inside, and the crowd noise from the outside of the stadium inflects the inside of the stadium if it is fans. They got to figure something out.
No doubt. AJ Epinesa with a sack. He's always going to get his ball and his 3rd tackle of the game. And I think that is going to run out the clock on these Tennessee Titans, Dan. We'll see. But, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. What you just suggested, the fans being outside the stadium or the castle, if you will, reminds me of the King of the North scene in Game of Thrones. We'll just figure out what's going on in the castle, and we're all just going to be chanting outside. It'll be great.
Hey, it would at least be something.
And
This
the
is my
Bills,
favorite formation
in football. They are going to take a knee, and the clock is going to tick away. It is going to be a resounding, a dominant 25-3 victory for these Buffalo Bills. They go into Nashville, not only handle their business, they stomp out and take care of their business. Ryan Tannehill didn't have a shot all day. You had a huge day. You had touchdowns from Diggs. You had a couple other touchdowns for J.A. As you see on the day, short of 300 yards, but I'll take 25 points all day with this defense, Dan.
Any day of the week. I like seeing the 113 rushing yards. Well-balanced attack. Josh Allen got a lot of that with his legs. So it looks like everything's coming to fruition, and we might have a good shot at making the playoffs.
Hey, and we want to shout out all the Bills Mafia's followers on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you very much for staying with us during the technical difficulties. We appreciate you. We love talking with you. We love interacting with you during this time. Stay tuned as you see the final stats there. Stay tuned for more action from the NFQL. The games do not stop. Gratwick Game does not stop. Like we said, those Gratwick Gaming game nights are going to come up, so keep an eye out for that. But the Bills are 8-5, Dan. After a 1-4 start, they now sit at 8-5.
Making that playoff push. We'll see what happens when we go to San Francisco tomorrow.
We'll go to San Francisco tomorrow. Folks, tune in. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, MySpace, TikTok. It's all there. 5 minutes before 7 p.m., a little bit more than that. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, kickoff. Bills at San Fran in the NFQL. The Bills are up to 8-5 after a huge win over the Tennessee Titans. Huge shout out to all our fans across all the platforms chiming in. Huge shout out to our producer, Chris, as well as Gratwick Gaming and Gratwick Productions taking care of business. My co-host, Dan Gambino from Code Sox. I'm Maniac from Trainwreck Sports. And you know, with these Bills sims, with this Bills action at Gratwick Gaming, Code Sox, and Trainwreck Sports, this train never stops.